everyone, it's Cece, and I am here with a tag, and it is called Another Palette Tag. And the reason I'm doing this is I saw Janna Cookie's video on this, and she may have said who the original creator was of this, but I did not catch that. And I enjoyed her video as I have for the last couple of years, so I wanted to send you guys over to her channel and watch her video and subscribe to her channel. So, first question, what was your first palette? My first palette, oh, guys, this is so gross, was actually something that I created myself. I watched QVC, still watch it, the beauty shows, and I've done this for years. And I used to really purchase a lot of Smashbox products, almost exclusively Smashbox, we'll say. And I found from either Nordstrom or their Smashbox site or something, they had these black leather cases that look kind of like this. They're approximately this big, maybe a little bit differently shaped, and they zipped around the side. And they kind of looked to me like professional makeup cases. They had little foam inserts on each side as they opened up like a book, and their products fit in those foam inserts. So those were my first palettes. And then QVC came up with this. It's called these Mega Pro palette, and it has, I can't show you. It opens in a trifold, and it has their trios in it. So each three of these, I don't know. They work. I don't know. They had their trios in them. This had slightly more product altogether than a trio, but they had their trios in them, and this was just fantastic. The center of this has two blushes, some of their cream eyeliners, and some lipsticks in there. I gave that to my daughter, and it's a total disaster. It's kind of gross even holding it. But that was my first palette, and I loved it. I used it exclusively for, I'm going to say, 2 years, nothing else. Then I started watching YouTube and seeing all the palettes other people got, bought them, and here we are with an obsession. The most recent palette I bought was this Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions. And I bought this at Christmas time. This was the only palette that I bought at Christmas time. And I believe it was still in the 20% sale. Actually, I'll take that back. It was that one and this one. This one first. The Mauve Obsessions was the most recent. This is the Desert Dusk. Love, 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 love both of these. The quality on these Huda Beauty palettes, these are the three I have, and this story's coming up next, is really, I think, the best. I think it's really fantastic. It wears well, it goes on well. You might have some trouble with the glitter shades. Use them as she says. I don't like too much glitter, first of all. And second of all, I don't like sticking my finger in there. But the shades that I love really do work well with, you know, the technique I use, a brush. So I think that is just absolutely fantastic. And the next question is a palette I almost missed, or wish I wouldn't have missed out, or a palette that you regret missing out on. And there really isn't one, but there's one I almost missed out on. And last year, this Huda Beauty Rose Gold edition was the palette that I almost missed out on. But you see, I have it. And gosh, knowing what it's like, I would have definitely regretted missing out on it. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the colors. I love the application. I love how they work. A couple, I think Angelic looks slightly different in the Desert Dusk palette, but this shade right here, Moon Dust, looks like just maybe a shimmery beige to you, maybe just a flat beige, whatever. It has a beautiful pink shift to this color, and it's just like perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It's a great lid color, great inner corner color. This color needs to be looked at. It needs to go on your eye for you to appreciate it. I tried to swatch it with a brush, and I don't think you could not see it, but could not see what I'm talking about. At least you could see the shade. But it is gorgeous. I love it. So glad I have this palette. But it, I had it in my cart for the VAB sale. It was 20% off. Like, it's like $65, I think it was. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Didn't buy it. Sold out online. Was like, oh. And then one day I woke up and I'm like, I gotta have that palette. What am I gonna do? Crazy, right? So I called around to all the stores in the area. I called around to all the stores that, sometimes I'll go to that are, 45 minutes, an hour away. Nothing. Finally found it at a store that was a little over an hour away. I've never been there before. It was an outside mall. Weather's bad. I go to get it. I did. I had to. And I'm so happy. But, yeah, that's kind of what happened. So a palette I love to look at, and I think it's this one. It's the Tarteist Pro palette. I just love those colors. You have some neutrals, you have some pops of colors, and I just love, like this section. I think Tarte does a nice job at laying out most of their palettes. I think the colors are just absolutely gorgeous, and the formula works well for me too. The next question I know is a palette that surprised you. And we'll start with a palette that surprised me in a good way. And it's this Clinique. It kind of looks like a clutch. It's padded. I think it's a Black Honey edition, but it's the All About Eyes, All About Shadow palette. And this is this beauty. This was only in the $30 range for this palette. And I really think it's a great, perfect palette. You have some neutrals, some taupes, you have a couple deepening up colors, you have this color right here is absolutely perfect for the lid. It's shimmery, it's gorgeous, it's just beautiful. You have some transition shades. You really have everything you need in here. This, I'm going to call it a gray cream on the bottom here. Looks a little yellow there, but not the best brow bone highlight color, but I always use my Laura Geller Baked Vanilla, French Vanilla, so I'm not worried about that. But this color is like a taupey pink shimmer. It's a little lighter than it looks there, but this surprised me in a great way. I was kind of iffy when I saw it. I'm like, $30-something. That's kind of cheap. Is it good? I haven't had Clinique Shadow since I was young. Really, really, really good. Palettes that surprised me in a bad way, but I bought twice, is a Kat Von D Metal Matte palette. And here it is. Another palette that I love to look at. And that's why I purchased it the second time. So, I pretty much love every shade in here except maybe the blues. But I could maybe even make them work, with something. But, it just doesn't work for me. I used my original one a few times, and every time it would just both muddy together and crease off and, just totally disappear. So when I went and got that Rose Gold Edition palette, the Huda Beauty, they had this in stock. A couple left. No one else had it. This was also limited edition. And I was like, I guess I just want it again. I'm going to get it. I'm going to try it out again. I can always return it, right? I just like looking at it so much that I can't return it. The other day I did the most gorgeous look. Like, it goes on well for me. It looks great. Some of the mattes I find hard to blend. But, you know, I make them work. And the other day I used this Ignite shade, I believe it is. Yes. And then Stone, and I think, you know, oh, I used Suede as a transition with a little bit of this peach color, maybe, Fringe, as transition shades, and it just looks so beautiful, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to wear that, you know, more in the spring. An hour later, it was all smudgy, creasy, not good on me. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. But I'm not getting rid of it because I love to look at it so much. It's serious just so I can look at it. But I don't know. I'm going to try to play with it more, I guess. Yeah. Surprise me in a bad way, you metal matte palette, you. But it makes me happy to look at, too. Palette I changed my mind about would be the metal matte. Surprised me, I guess, would be the Clinique. Inspires me most is a palette like this. It may not be exactly this, although, you know, it has been. And this is the Lorac Mega Pro 4. Palettes that have some neutrals in them, but also pops of color. I love pops of color in my palettes, and I find that that is the way I get the looks that I want most. You know, I want that rust and the baby poop colors. I want some pinks and some purples and mauves. I want those shades. I want some, you know, maybe a color just on the outer edge just to deepen things up. I want that in a palette. And these are the types of palettes that inspire me. So that is what I want in a palette. And a wish list palette. Currently, nothing. I know that a while ago Too Faced said they were going to be bringing out like a cherry or a berry palette. Looking for that, because I like. Oh, you know what? I feel like I've done this video a million times, but I'm bringing this palette out because I don't think I mentioned it. Definitely, this is like a go-to palette for me. I use it for special occasions, for every day, for times when I want to look special. The peach palette from Too Faced. I love that it has the purples. I love that it has the greens. I love these peach colors. I love that it has some neutrals. And this might be my no-fail palette, but I had it as another, I don't know, maybe inspires me. I'm not sure. But palettes like this is what's on my wish list. It doesn't have to be gimmicky. It doesn't have to be, you know, cute. It doesn't have to be smelly. It just has to be good. No fail palette. I mean, honestly, I rotate my palettes and I pick out like, you know, 5 or 6, probably about 5 palettes for a week, and I use those one by one, put them back. If I need another one, I go kind of in the order that I have them. But this is a good one for a no-fail palette, the Pro Mega 3, because it has a lot of neutrals in there. And it still has a little bit of color for me, even in these neutral shades. So this is a good no-fail palette. And I would like to thank you for joining me. Feel free to tell me, you know, what your categories of these palettes are. Look at Janna's channel, and I am done with this video. I finally came in under time with no interruptions, so I'm happy with that. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you'd like to see any other videos from me, please let me know. Thanks so much, and please subscribe. I've gotten a few new subscribers, but, you know, I'm just asking for your help. So thank you so much, everyone. And I'm so happy you got to watch this video with me. Thanks.